So this video is all about email marketing and how you can start email marketing, grow your email list, and actually market to them and get sales from it. Here's some things you need to know before you write your email. First is who. Who are you targeting? Who do you want that email to actually reach? It has to be a specific group of people. You can't write anyone. I want to target everyone because that doesn't work. You have to speak to different people who like different things differently. But like if they like the same niche, you're talking to them like specifically, and you know how they are talked to. The second is why. Why are you emailing them, and why should they care? So you need to know why you're emailing them and why they should care about the email that you're sending them. This is why you need to provide value in your email so that they will have a reason to look forward to your emails and not just unsubscribe from it. The third is what. What actions do you want them to take after reading your email? This could be you want a sale or a call or a book call or something like that. But you need to figure out what you want to do after they have read the email. So this is the 6-part format for writing email that sells. The first is the subject line. You want it to be catchy and attention grabbing, so that because that's the first thing your reader actually sees is the subject line, and it needs to actually grab their attention unless they're not going to read the email. Second is the lead. You need to, the first 1 to 3 sentences you write has to be catching, so that when they click on it and expecting something from the subject line, that 3 sentences will fill them in on what they need for them to continue to read it on with the email. Third is the meat, which is the body of the email, and it needs to be the purpose of that email, so why you're sending it, or a story you have to tell, or something, or a value you want to provide. Fourth is the transition. This is when you're transitioning from the body to the call to action. And the fifth is the call to action. So this is when you ask them to do a certain action, like buy a product or book in a call. And the sixth is the PS, which you give them a little note. It basically restates the body. Restates the body and the CTA. So here are 15 tips for writing good email. The first is to write to one person. So like we said, is to pick a specific niche that you know you could write to, like if you're writing to one person. Second is to write like you talk. You want to write the email like you're talking to someone, not just writing it like all formal, because nobody's going to read that. They want it to feel like you're having a conversation with them. The third is to have one main idea in each email. So don't just add a bunch of ideas into one email and give them like a story and then some other thing and other thing. You try to mash it all into one email. Put it into different emails that you'll send to them. The fourth is to read your emails out loud before you send them, because sometimes you need to read it out loud to feel like you're actually having a conversation with them and not just typing random stuff on your computer. The next is to trim the fat. You should be using anywhere from 200 to 600 words max per email. So short email should be like max 200. Long email should be like 600 max. You don't want to bore the reader as they're reading the email and make them feel like they're reading like a blog or an article or something. Next is to use powerful words. So you want to make sure that it's not too hard of a word for them to understand, but like make sure it's punchy. Like instead of using like the best, or you could use like the greatest or an awesome, something like that, just to catch their attention every time. The next is you should have a 4th grade approval from Hemingway. Hemingway is a website where you can put in your email and it'll grade it from like, I think it's 1 to 10. 10 being it's too hard to read, 1 being it's super easy to understand and read. You want it to be at a 4 because you want your readers to easily understand what you're trying to say. Next is to be clear with your CTA. Your CTA should be a clear call to action, stating what you want them to do after reading the email. You don't want it to be confusing, because then they won't know what to do and they'll just leave. Next is to grab them with the first line of your email. You need to get their attention for them to even be able to read the email to begin with. So the first line is very important when it comes to your emails. Next And probably one of the important ones is to show personality. Your email should like almost be personal to them, like a personal conversation with your email list. That way they can feel more connected to you and be a part of like your brand, and you can nurture them into like a loyal follower through that, and that will enable them to actually buy stuff from you. Next is to keep track of email ideas. So if you ever have an idea for your emails, just write it down on a pen and paper or on your phone, uh, like on a note app on your phone. That way you'll have lots of ideas when it comes to writing your next email. And last but not least is done over perfection. So you don't need to spend a lot of time writing one email. Just write something that you would know is okay and that it would actually resonate with people that you're specifically targeting. And that's all that matters. You don't have to spend like a day on an email because that's just insane and you're not getting anything done. The more you keep sending emails, the more you'll understand what your potential customers actually want. And so you can actually get better at talking to them and writing good email. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.